Hello, and welcome. For those of you who don't know who I am, which the majority of you probably don't because my presence on the internet is rather insignificant, I have another channel that I post just random crap on, and I decided that my love of books was just too overwhelming. But the content that I have on my other channel just doesn't really mesh with random book reviews and monthly wrap-ups, so I decided to create an entirely separate channel completely and utterly dedicated to books. Anything and everything books. Because I love books. I love books a lot. Obviously, I like reading books. I like talking about books. I like looking at books. Even books that I have no intention of reading, I like just looking at them. Is that creepy? I love smelling books. Yeah, this is getting into the realm of creepy. I just really like books, okay? So, as an introduction to this brand new channel dedicated entirely to the written word, I figured what better first video to do than the Booktuber Newbie Tag. Booktuber Newbie Tag. Booktuber Newbie Tag. So, first question. Why did I start this channel? I literally just said it. I love books. I love everything about books. This channel is purely to satisfy my love to rant and rave about books that I love and books that I hate. What are some fun and unique things that I can bring to Booktube? Well, this is a loaded question. I can say I'll bring new and exciting things to the Booktube world that have never been done before, or even thought of before, but let's be real. Even if I do come up with a unique idea, chances are there are a gajillion other booktubers who have been doing this for far longer than I have that have already done the idea. So I guess all I can hope is that the content that I do put out there is newish and unique in the sense that I'm the one that's doing it. I will say I am horrifically unapologetic when it comes to reviewing books that I may not like, especially if the book is super popular and super loved by a lot of people. So I might be here to ruffle a few feathers. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I feel like a broken record here, but books, and just talking about books. I really want this channel to push me out of my comfort zone as far as reading. Yes, I do read a variety of genres, but typically the content of the books that I read tend to be similar in style, so I'm really hoping that this channel will force me to expand my horizons and maybe push me to read something that I would never actually think of reading if I saw it on a shelf. So there's that. Let's expand our horizons together. Why do you love reading? I'm someone who is very open about mental health and the fact that I have pretty severe depression and anxiety. Reading, for me, is an escape from all that. I can pluck myself out of my shitty reality and I can throw myself into a world that I'm able to just get lost in and completely forget about what is happening inside my head. It allows me to temporarily forget about my own problems and just immerse myself into someone else's life, whether they're real or not. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, the stories that I read, I would much rather be living the life of whatever character I'm reading about than my own. Is that too sad and a little bit too real? It is my truth. What book or series got you into reading? So when I was but a wee little lass, my older brother was obsessed with the Redwall series by Brian Jacques. If there is anyone I know who loves reading more than I do, it is my older brother. My taste in books was heavily influenced on what I saw him reading. So when he was reading the Redwall series, of course, I needed to read the Redwall series. Honestly, I want to do an entirely separate video on this series because it defined my childhood. And if you never read the Redwall series when you were growing up, it is never too late. That series just blew my 8-year-old mind. Another singular book that really just sealed my fate as a lifetime reader, Magical Maurice and His Educated Rodents by Terry Pratchett. I first read this book for a book report in the 2nd grade and subsequently used every book report throughout elementary school as an excuse to reread it. I don't think any book report I wrote from 2nd to 6th grade was ever on a book other than this one. I know, it's really good. What challenge do you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest for you to overcome? Like I mentioned before, I am very unapologetic when it comes to my opinions on certain books and series. And I am a titch afraid that I am going to cause some drama if I come out very much against series that have like a huge cult following. Please don't hate me. When did you start reading? I feel like I'm in a therapy session. Truth be told, I used to hate reading. Hate it. And I think that's because it was always something that I was being forced to do. Like it was just an expectation of me. My mom would force us to go in our rooms and read for an hour before we were allowed to do anything else. Like play video games, go on the computer, go outside. And me, being the stubborn little prick that I was, wanted to do the complete opposite of that. So most of the time I would just pick a random book off the shelf, go into my room, lie on my bed, open it to a random page, and just stare. I wouldn't take anything in. I would just stare at it until she would come in and check on us. And then I would tell her, yeah, like, look at how far I got. I've been reading this entire time. And during school, we would have designated reading time, which I, again, absolutely hated. It wasn't until the 2nd grade when I did my very first book report that I even bothered actually picking out a book and reading it from start to finish. And as they say, the rest is history. Where do you like to read? Usually I read in my bed or on my couch. Or if it's really nice out and I feel like getting my ass out of my house, I will go read at a park or some other secluded area where there's not a lot of people. I have a hard time reading in public, just like I can't fall asleep with like the TV on. Same thing, I think I just get easily distracted. What kind of books do you like to read? Honestly, anything that really strikes my fancy. As much as I want to say I can read anything, I am not big on horror. I can read thrillers, but I can't read like Stephen King. There was a stint in high school where I read almost every single book by this author, and they were all horror-based stories. Ever since then, can't do it. I don't know. Oh, I can't remember for the life of me what that author's name was. I do love sci-fi, fantasy, historical fiction. Honestly, again, I just really like to read. Yeah, so I hope that gives you a better idea of who I am and what I'm going to be bringing to this channel. As to what I'm currently reading, I am in the middle of Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Definitely takes a couple chapters to grasp what the hell is going on, but I'm only like 60% into it, so maybe it'll end up okay. I am always up for a good book recommendation, so drop yours below in the comments. Of course, subscribe to this channel. Maybe subscribe to my other channel as well. Until next time, get reading.